Welcome back. In the last few videos, we've shown how to draw the brachial plexus, which is the nerves that innervate your arm, and also how to determine the root values of these nerves. Basically, what are the roots that make up these nerves. So in this video, I just want to talk quickly about the function of the these nerves that are coming off. The five main nerves are the musculocutaneous nerve, the median nerve, the ulnar nerve, the axillary nerve, and the radial nerve. There are many other nerves as well that come off, as you can see, the dorsal scapular, the suprascapular, but I really want to focus on the function of these five nerves. The rest you can kind of already get an intuition for, right? Dorsal scapular is going to somehow affect the scapula. Same with suprascapular is going to affect your scapula. Lateral pectoral is going to affect your pec muscles, which is in your chest. Same here, subscapulars are going to affect your scapula, and your medial pectoral again is going to affect your chest. So these you can kind of look up in Wikipedia or something. But the ones that are slightly more confusing are these five. So I really want to, and more highly tested. So that's why I want to kind of clarify what these are. So let me first draw out your arm. So this is your arm. And when I say the word arm, actually, normally, right, you think of the arm as this whole thing. But in anatomy, so I've actually been saying this slightly loosely, but now I want to be very clear. The arm is actually just the upper part of what we traditionally think of as our entire arm. It's just the upper part above the elbow. This is your arm. I'm actually not going to write it out, but that's your arm right here, this upper part. This part down here is actually called your forearm in anatomy. So when I've been saying that the brachial plexus innervates your arm, I've been saying that sort of loosely. It really innervates this entire upper extremity. So that's why we keep saying, that's why you'll hear people say upper extremity, because arm really just means this first part up to your elbow, right where your biceps are. The forearm is down here, and lastly you have your hand. So you have your arm, your forearm, and your hand, and collectively this makes up your upper extremity, which is just sounds very fancy, your upper extremity, but it makes sort of sense here. Okay, so what does the musculocutaneous do? Well, the name kind of gives it away. It actually does musculo, meaning it's going to do the muscles in your arm, okay? And cutaneous means skin. So it's going to do skin in your forearm. So it's going to innervate the muscles in your arm, and it's going to do sensation in your forearm. So if I poke you in your forearm, then you know that it's going to do that musculocutaneous is innervating that. And specifically, it's doing the anterior compartments, meaning the front side of your arm and forearm. So it's doing the muscles in the front and the sensation in the front. Okay? What does so let me change colors so we get a little bit of here. Let's do blue. So what does the median nerve do? The median nerve is going to do the muscles in your forearm, mainly. It also does lumbricals 2 and 3 in your hand, and I don't want to go into the exceptions right now, but mainly, big picture, right, you want to think that the median nerve is going to do all the muscles that are in your forearm. And lastly, we have our ulnar nerve, and ulnar is going to do the muscles in your hand. And these are called the intrinsic muscles of the hand. Why is it called intrinsic muscles? Because these are really the muscles inside your hand, as opposed to the extrinsic muscles, which are in your forearm. But these muscles in your forearm actually have tendons which extend into your fingers. So when the blue part contracts, it actually is able to pull your fingers up. So it's kind of a neat idea that you have muscles kind of far away out here, but they still operate on something in the hand. So if I asked you, right, what are the muscles that move your hand, you could say the muscles in my forearm and the intrinsic muscles of the hand itself. Both of those are going to operate on your hand. And that's why we're able to do such fine movements with our hand. So ulnar is going to do that. Okay? And the last one is the last main one is the radial nerve. So I'm running out of colors. So what should maybe here's your radial nerve. And radial does everything in the back, everything motor related in the back. So far, everything I've drawn, I should make it very clear, is all the anterior compartment. Radial is going to do everything in the back. So if you have your triceps muscles in the back, that's radial nerve innervation. If you have muscles in your forearm that are on the posterior side, it's going to be radial nerve. Okay, so your arm and forearm motor innervation is done by the radial nerve. And lastly, you have the axillary nerve, which acts on your deltoid, and your teres minor, which is not even in your upper extremity. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. So really, these are kind of the four main ones to consider. All right, hopefully that was helpful.